And welcome. My name is Robert Nuddleman with the Nuddleman Law Firm, and today we're going to be talking about wage and hour law. This is actually going to be the first in several parts, hopefully, talking about wage and hour law. Um, I guess the first question is, when I say wage and hour law, what am I talking about? Well, it can be anything from minimum wage to unpaid overtime. It can include meal and rest break claims, claims for expenses. Oftentimes we're looking at the difference between an exempt employee versus a non-exempt employee. Some wage and hour cases handle or deal with bonuses or commissions. Obviously, a lot of people are concerned about the final pay. When do you have to get paid? Do you have to get paid vacation? That type of stuff, as well as vacation pay. And now, with the Healthy Workplaces, Healthy Families Act, we're also looking at paid sick leave as another issue that we're going to see on the rise. So I'm going to talk briefly about some of these different wage and hour topics as we go along. But another question is also, what are the sources of the wage and hour laws? Where are we looking? Obviously, the California Labor Code contains many of the laws that deal with wage and hour issues. One area that's oftentimes overlooked by both employers and employees are the wage orders. A wage order is promulgated originally by the Industrial Welfare Commission. It's the regulations that interpret how the wage and hour laws, the labor code, etc., are to be implemented for different occupations, different industries. But I learned very early to look at the wage order and see what the regulations are that are going to apply, because although many of the provisions are similar, there are some pretty significant differences in some of the different wage orders. Another source of the law is obviously the Fair Labor Standards Act. The Fair Labor Standards Act is the federal law that is kind of the bottom line. All states, all employers, if they're governed by the Fair Labor Standards Act, have to at least comply with the Fair Labor Standards Act. And in most respects in California, California laws are more strict than federal laws. Now, more and more, we're seeing local ordinances that we have to pay attention to. Certain cities have their own minimum wage ordinances. San Francisco, Oakland, Emeryville, San Diego, I believe Sunnyvale is looking to add in their own minimum wage ordinance. I believe Mountain View, San Jose, and each of those minimum wage ordinances can have different rules that apply. So you may have an employee that works part-time in San Jose, part-time in Palo Alto, and maybe part-time even in San Francisco. And depending on where they are is going to alter how much that employee is required to get paid, how much paid sick leave they're going to accrue, etc. Often when we're looking at wage and hour decisions, we look certainly to the court cases. What do the state courts say? What do the federal courts say? But also we look at what the labor commissioner says. The labor commissioner is a state agency in charge of receiving, investigating, and conducting hearings on wage and hour issues. They have other areas within their jurisdiction as well, but a lot of people go to them when they want to resolve a wage and hour dispute. The labor commissioner opinions are not the law. They are the labor commissioner's opinions. And some court cases have said, look, we can rely on those for good guidance. Other ones have said they're not worth the paper they're written on. It just kind of depends on what the issue is, what the labor commissioner's history has been. So that's kind of what we're talking about when we talk about wage and hour law and some of the sources.